If you're getting stuck in interview mode, a lot of times you're probably gonna end up getting ghosted, getting flaked on, girls not actually following up. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how you can get out of interview mode using 3 main tactics that I have used to get to the point where I can have fun and interesting conversations like this.
Hey, excuse me. Super random. I'm here to shop with my buddy. You're like so cute.
Thank you.
What's your name?
What's
Tim?
yours? Ted?
Tim.
Tim, nice to
Yeah,
meet you.
Ted, that'd be red flag. Okay?
Yeah.
Immediate serial killer first name, not cool.
It's okay, Tim's good. Tim's
Yeah,
good.
Tim's good.
I'm gonna give you 3 tips in this video, and you're gonna wanna stay till the end because at the end of the video, I'm gonna give you a strategy that's gonna help tie all of these together and really make all of these work to really achieve a very powerful effect. So the first thing you have to do to get out of interview mode, and this is assuming you're approaching enough to where you're having good conversations with women and just with people in general, is have more personal input. So there's usually 2 to 3 questions that get asked in every single conversation. Maybe it's where are you from? What's your ethnicity? What do you do for work? What do you do for fun? A lot of these questions get brought up every single time when you run an interaction, and you're probably asking a lot of these questions when you blank out and it's just the first thing that comes to your mind. And so what I want you to do is actually take time right now and write down more interesting answers to these questions. So an example would be if someone asked me what I did for work, I could say I'm a dating coach or I help guys with confidence and social skills, but that's kind of a boring answer, even though it's an interesting thing that I do. It'd be a lot better for me to say something like, well, it's actually funny. I was gonna study elementary education and I got through like a semester of that and I really liked it because I like talking to kids, hanging out with kids. I think they're really funny. But I also realized after a little bit that I'm a lot more ambitious than that and I wanted to make more money. So I ended up starting my own business, 4 or 5 years after I dropped out of college. And now I help guys and coach them online with building confidence and building social skills. And now I can do things like, approach pretty girls at the mall. So now I'm showing some intent, I'm making it more interesting and engaging. I didn't really even ask a question, but I gave her a lot that she can hold on to. She can talk about social skills, she can talk about confidence, she can talk about the fact that I came up to her, she can talk about the fact that I like kids, she can talk about college, dropping out of school. There's a lot of stuff that she can talk about in this conversation now, and I'm giving her enough to work with. A lot of guys don't even understand that it's not only on her to give you stuff to work with, you need to give her stuff to work with too. Girls are also people and they're trying to run interactions. They're trying to have a good time. They're trying to have good, positive interactions with you. And it's very, very hard when you don't give her anything else. Guys will complain a lot about girls giving one-word responses when they're giving one-word responses themselves and just asking boring questions. The next thing you can do to avoid getting stuck in interview mode is injecting more teasing and personality and fun into the interaction by giving the girl some challenges. One of my recent videos, I actually break down how you can tease and flirt more effectively. I even give you 3 lines that you can use and steal, but I'm just gonna talk about it briefly in this video as well because I think it really is important. The reason that you wanna tease is because it shows the girl, hey, I'm not putting too much pressure on this interaction. It's not a big deal. When you don't tease and you don't make fun of the girl, it kind of shows that you're taking yourself too seriously and you're taking her too seriously. It puts a lot of pressure on her to be perfect and she can't be her goofy self. She can't be herself and just relax around you. And I think that's a really, really big thing. So you have to be able to pull away and tease. So one example of a good tease that you can pretty much say after everything she says is you could say, oh, see, this is why it won't work between us. So maybe she's a nurse. See, this is why it won't work between us. Or she could say, I'm from Kentucky. Oh, see, this is why it won't work between us. Anything that she says can be a reason why it won't work. And then it's just up to you to come up with something. Maybe I dated a girl from there in the past, or I've just heard that girls from Kentucky, they're crazy. I've just heard that nurses are crazy. I've heard XYZ is just a lot to deal with. I don't know if I can do that right now. When you tease her, you are coming from a high value place. You're coming from a place of, hey, I'm just having fun in this interaction. I'm not putting too much pressure on this interaction. And also, I'm not really scared if I offend you because I'm not only here to hit on you. I'm here to have fun and engage with you in a fun and interesting way that's enjoyable to me as well. I'm not just concerned about if you like me or not, which is very attractive. It takes a lot of the pressure off of her. The last thing I really like to do to avoid interview mode is to make assumptions or statements instead of asking questions. And when you make assumptions, you don't have to do it in this really cocky way where it's like, oh, you're one of those girls. Because a lot of guys, when they make assumptions, they kind of talk down on the girl or they generalize her too much. One thing I really like to do is just make statements. So, oh, you're a nurse, aren't you? Or, oh, you give off this type of vibe. Like you give off elementary school vibe. And if you're worried you're going to offend the girl, one thing I like to do before is just say something like, this is such a random totally out of nowhere guess, but I feel like you have such a blank vibe to you. And that way you have a lot of plausible deniability. If you're totally wrong, she's like, oh no, that's not me at all. Why'd you think that? I don't know. It was just something about your eyes or something about the way that you smiled or laughed. I just got this type of vibe off of you. And then if you're right, she's like, oh wow, I can't believe you actually got that right. And it's so much more interesting than just asking her what she does for work. You know, I could ask a girl what she does for work, but it's a lot more interesting if I say, you know, you come off like you would be the best fourth grade teacher ever. And you can even inject some intent where you could say, like, if I was in fourth grade, I would definitely have a crush on you for sure, but you would also be one of my best teachers. So those are 3 tactics that you can use to avoid interview mode, but it's very important that you understand this final piece that's gonna tie everything together. The most important thing when it comes to getting out of interview mode is loosening up and not being so tight in your interactions. A lot of you guys just have a really bad vibe when you go into the interaction because you're not socializing enough. So if you're not hitting your 20 to 30 minutes of social interaction every single day, then you need to be doing that. That's actually something, one of the first things when someone joins the coaching community for $50 a month, down in the description, I do a one-on-one with everyone that joins and I make sure they have a 20 to 30 minute social interaction action plan for their week, where they structure their week so they always get 30 minutes of social interaction in every single day to put them in a higher vibe state so they can more freely and authentically express themselves. That is the most important thing. Then those guys, they can come to the group coaching calls that I run 5 per week, and you can ask questions about the interactions that you're getting into. But if you're not getting into enough interactions where you're loosening up and you're noticing like this tightness, if you have social anxiety, you know what I'm talking about, this tightness in your chest where you are nervous about what people think, you're overthinking a lot, you have a lot of anxiety. If that's not starting to get reduced and go down, you need to just take more action so you can practice loosening up and relaxing in your interactions. So if you want to join the coaching community, there's like 200 guys almost in there at this point. You can join with the link in the description for $50 a month. You get access to my 6-phase attraction system, 5 group coaching calls a week. This is seriously like a coaching program that other coaches are charging $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 for, and it's insane the amount of value you get inside. If you're more of a one-on-one, high-touch, custom help type of guy, you can also apply for one-on-one coaching down in the description. But until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Let me know in the comments what you want to see from me.